reload the mod list, do that. It's fine. But, with what we've been doing with the Mushroom Empire, it's basically we started as a Naked Brutality where we had the Mushroom Queen, who was a person who had psychic hypersensitivity, but, just, basically Naked Brutality with the one trait locked in. And the idea behind the run is that we are, devotees of mushrooms and all that. We eat mushrooms, we worship mushroom, everything is mushroom, and we are going to make sure everyone in the world knows about the importance of mushroom. In practice, what this run has primarily been is we are kind of going to be doing like an all endings run, but we are a very mushroom themed colony, and just dealing with that. Oh, why were you arrested? Oh, right. We ended on a cliffhanger yesterday. That's right. We ended on a cliffhanger, where we have the metal horror going on. You do see there's a chimera dead outside, because we finished the chimera and almost immediately went into metal horror. So someone in our colony is infected with metal horror, which basically means someone is infectious and will cause people to have horrible metal things climb out of their body. We don't have an absolute clue who it is, because the gray flesh was, you can literally see the splotch where it was right here. Oh, here, let me go ahead and start the queue. We don't know who done it. No idea whatsoever. Because that's a spot that we had just walked by dealing with the Chimera, so anyone could have dropped it. The odds are it's Bueller, which is why I've got Bueller in there. We are interrogating Bueller and just hoping beyond hope that we can figure that out. But what I'm going to do is we're going to interrogate Bueller a good handful of times, and if they hold up to scrutiny, then we will release them and they will be our doctor. Because what'll end up happening is ultimately, do we have to convert anyone? No. And what are you upset about? Brutal outdoors. Oh, right, because you're an undergrounder. Hey, McQueeb, thank you so much for the raid. I do hope you had yourself a good stream and all that stuff. Can we get a shout out for McQueeb, by the way? An absolutely fantastic content creator. Does a whole lot of indie games, a lot of roguelites, that kind of thing. Doing Pathogenic. I hope you had fun with that and all good stuff, and that, Pathogenic was a good time and all that good stuff, but welcome in, Raiders. We've been doing, for most of today, we were doing City Skylines 2. We ultimately did just switch because we had endured a really nasty fire, and we ultimately got to the point where we were recovering, but it was just one of those things that, it was a really nasty hit where it's going to be just like fast forward and wait for the economy to recover. So rather than just waiting that out for the rest of the stream, we jump back into a RimWorld run we've been working on, where we're dealing with a gray flesh event with the metal horror. We don't know who done it. Our first contestant is Bueller. We're just going to keep harassing them. And if it says, we see metal squirmy things in their eyes, then I'll probably actually let them out, but they're not going to be our doctor. But if it doesn't say that, if they manage to hold up for a couple of days without getting that warning, I'll let them out, and they will become our only doctor until we're done with the gray flesh thing. But, I do hope everyone had fun with the streamer there with McQueeb. McQueeb is absolutely excellent, and definitely recommend checking him out. Again, lots of indie games, lots of, roguelites, all that kind of good stuff. But, for everyone popping in here who doesn't know who I am Rual Storge, who play a variety of games here on Twitch. I'm most known for my exploits in Project Zomboid, where I used to hold a world record for the highest kill count run ever streamed. That said, I do tend to play a very large number and a very wide range of indie games. A lot of, stuff like settlement builders, city builders, tycoon, roguelites, survival crafters, pretty much almost anything across the board. And one thing I'm going to do right now is that warg I don't want to deal with, because it's going to randomly decide to hunt someone, so we are going to explode it into meat and go about our day. We do have 2 children in here. Both of them are hybrids because mom is a baseliner and dad is a dirt mole. One of them has insatiable hunger because I got almost nothing but good traits, and the other one is pretty balanced, and should hold up all right. Yeah, you have the peg leg as well. Yeah, so right now we're working on researching drug production. I am running the no research and semi-random research mods. No research means I started with nothing here. We've researched enough, you can't tell anymore. But the semi-random research means I have no control of my research. Like right now, I want the basic grav tech. You see that locked button? I can't click on it. It's eligible, but I can't click on it. And that's because Randy effectively has chosen our research and has decided drugs are on the menu. For once, not as like the first research, so I will give him credit. He did show a lot of patience before embracing the drugs, but we are ultimately getting to drugs. Alright, bioluminescent spores, that'll be a mood bonus. But we're actually on Cassandra, just to be clear. But the memes around Randy random and the fact it's random. Yeah, so right now, I'm just gonna put us fast forward. Drugs can be good. Yeah, drugs are useful. To be fair, with our whole mushroom ideology thing, we have drugs. We just don't need to manufacture them. We're just grabbing our fun mushrooms off the ground, you know, and we just have them available as we need them. Okay, you're continuing to hold up under interrogation. We'll do like one more interrogation on Bueller, and then we're going to assume Bueller's in the clear. And if we're wrong, that's what we call really, really bad. Like really, really bad. Unfortunately, Bueller is not a cook. So eventually we'll turn to eating raw mushrooms. The good news is because we do have our ideology likes mushrooms, eating raw mushrooms will risk a lot of food poisoning, but on the plus side, won't actually get us in any kind of trouble. Alright, everyone inside the safe zone, because that is a lot of shamblers I have no need to deal with. And that means we just kind of chill in here and see if anything happens with Bueller. Now, if we do manage to prevent the metal horror from spreading long enough, it will just automatically trigger and just, you know, one person will have it pop out. We have made it so there is no pass for it to spread. Like, the only infection, if it's one of these two, the other one could get it. But otherwise, there's no opportunity for it to spread otherwise right now. But we'll get Bueller all sorted out. And that'll be good. Yeah, and we could definitely handle the shamblers if I let Bueller out. Because we'll just do the same thing we've been doing where we kill a bunch of them, we slam the door closed, run to the other side, open the door, kill a bunch more. That kind of thing. Alright, cargo pods. You want to deliver me potatoes. Sacrilege. Those aren't mushrooms. Okay. So once Bueller wakes up, we're going to do one more interrogate, and then we're going to release Bueller. After that point, we shouldn't we shouldn't have any need to... Oh, what do we got? Rare catch of 3 advanced components. Alright, I'm going to consider you in the clear. You held up with several days of people constantly nagging you about, hey man, are you actually a metal horror? And you didn't buckle. So we're just going to assume you're in the clear. It is not a safe assumption, but the odds it's fine are much higher than it's not. Alright, so where is your spear? So Bueller is now a doctor. So should anyone get injured or need anything, Bueller will be able to patch them up. And you're upset that you were imprisoned? I got nothing better to use your thing on. So we're going to tell you to kindly get over it. And we were successful. And now literally everyone is fishing because they got nothing better to do. Because I've told everyone they have to stay inside the perimeter since we got a small army of shamblers chilling outside. Now, a big problem I'm going to run into is running out of all these packaged meals we spent so long making. We're just burning them to deal with the metal horror, which is fine. I don't really care that much. It's just kind of utilizing a lot of resources I would have rather not have utilized. I think it's 29 of them. Like I said, we could probably handle them without too many injuries. Like, I wouldn't open that door, that'd be a bad time, but if we came around here, picked off one of these ones in the back, you know, and then kind of picked off, you'd drag like 8 or 9 of them off, kill them, maybe take a couple of scratches here and there. If they all come, we'd step through a door real fast, so get stuck on the wall, clear out what we can, and just keep kiting. There's no need for it. If they die in the map, they'll dry up a maybe a shard, couple bioferrite. I'm already getting bioferrite for free out of this person. We're just sucking his bone goop out. There's no need to put any more effort into that. And shards are nice. I've got 5 of them. But not really worth getting a bunch of injuries when we're dealing with the gray flesh. The dream with the gray flesh is that it would show someplace up here, like in the corner, and someone like Nivek would self-report. Because if that happens, we know exactly who did it. And then they can be set aside and refined. Alright, complex clothing. Alright, that is actually a big one. Because we can finally make clothing, so we're not walking around in shredded bits of tribal wear and whatever hats and shirts and all that we pull off bodies. And it should be a relatively fast one because it's a low cost. Well, I mean, it's not that low, but it's a low tech one. And for those who don't know with your research in RimWorld, this is like your prehistoric area. So everything over here, if I get past electricity, once I'm researching stuff over here, all this stuff goes faster because it's seen as a lower tier thing, and same with microelectronics. Once I'm over here, everything over here goes faster. So it all helps. Oop. We got people passing by. Are you gonna have a bad time? Are you gonna make me have a bad time? If you go left, we're fine. It's not looking good. So then the question is, will you piss them off and then get them pissed off at me? Or will you piss them off and they'll murder the crap out of you and ignore me? Ooh, you are not packing anything remotely adequate for this. Alright, here they come. Alright, the first one's already dead. The second one's dead. Apollo's holding up pretty well, but... Okay, they did not aggro over to me. Honestly, if they had aggroed over with it just being like 5 or 6 of them, I would just put my line here, they would have walked in, we would have just wrecked them in seconds. Yeah, and after this in-game day, they should all either be off the map or collapse and die. We'll even get ourselves some free meals out of that. An eclipse I literally don't care about. We are on a tile that has no sunlight, so that's cool. But your solar power? I've seen people build solar power on this tile set and be like, wait, when it's like, you know, no power. Because for those who don't know, this is the Glow Shroom Forest. This is a map or a tile that came with the Odyssey DLC. But it can only get to, I believe, 50% brightness, which is not enough to grow plants or run solar. Okay. Oh, right. I meant to... Ideology. Truck that down there. Is there even geothermal on it? Yeah. Like, I was actually starting to build one when the gray flesh showed up and then this stuff went off. They're probably not going to have any dye whatsoever, but that's okay. They can change their tattoos and all that stuff. Extra geothermal? No, you can't build the geothermal on the vents. The sulfur vents are something different. You do have regular geothermal on there. It's the exact same as any other map in that regard. But you have these extra ones you can't use. And rip the Shamblers timing out. Honestly, for those last two, for you. Unrestricted. Grab everyone. Oh wait, you're not actually dead. Now you are. Okay, so orders, allow, then we're Shamblers on the map. That's fine. I just want them to be able to continue working on getting this built. You got a bunch of limestone here, so we're gonna go security, limestone. Pause the geothermal itself, so we get the perimeter closed, so that one person just walk up and just bang on it to death. They don't have that many spare components. Okay, but once we have that, I can turn all my power stuff on. I won't have to juggle anything anymore. Solar flare, why not? Cash is a hoo-hoo. Mech healing serum. There are 11 turrets, 1 pirate, and there might be an unknown threat. Mech healing serum would be good. What I would probably use it on is Astero there, who is missing both their eyes and an arm. That's kind of a little bit of a waste for it. But really, oh, you know what? Actually, it's fine. We do want it. Because I could use it as on Astero, and Astero then goes from barely being able to doctor to our best doctor hands down. But the thing is, all of these are easy to resolve. Versus I could sit on it and wait for someone who's going to die, like lose to a plague, or, you know, we get someone who gets crumbling mind or something like that, which is probably the better choice. Okay, but it is a whole bunch of sentries and just one person. Let's see where that quest is, though. If it's nearby, you should have a bionic sword anyways. Yes, the problem is they don't have someone who can install it with any confidence. Alright, so we're going to send a caravan to you, and then back. There's not really a reason to bring Bueller. I'll keep them constructing, so who's going to go? Mohan Rai I don't need immediately in the fight. Nivek I don't need. Let's see. Your crafter, builder, researcher. Bring you as well. Bring a little extra here. I'm debating if I actually want to bring Flog instead for the bolt action. To have that little extra range. Well, oh no, I mean... I probably do want a nerve spiker, don't I? No, that's fine. That's fine. 3 people shooting should definitely be able to tag someone and take him down. So you all get out of here. Go fetch me that healing mech serum. Okay. So that means Bueller can keep building this. Both of our researchers are still available, and our crafter and our cook are still available. So we should be good there. Our cook is available. Oh, right, we don't have a cook right now because gray flesh. That's fine. We can just eat raw mushrooms and risk the food poisoning. We are super into mushrooms. It's going to take a hot minute for us to get down there. We should still have growers. Yes, we do. Yeah, so we're just in good shape. Don't care about that. We're pretty close to getting our advanced or complex clothing done. We can get that research bench there. I am leaning more and more towards we stash the healing mech serum and we just wait. Because there's a lot of stuff I can use that on that'd be very, very useful versus the impatience of just trying to get Astero to be a bit better at doctoring. Because if I get a doctor, like a refugee who shows up who's got medical or something, I should be able to get Astero up and running really fast. Alright, complex clothing. Great bow. Great bow, not useful. Not this point, at least. Tailoring bench. Okay. And thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Okay. Now, one thing that could also be useful is if, for example, we caravan out and we do the encounter, and Greyflesh shows up where we're doing the encounter, then that would isolate it to these 3 have it. It's very unlikely. I don't even know if that is a thing that can happen. So you're here. Go talk to them about what we can trade. Okay, so what do we got here? We got the bionic eye we're gonna want to keep. We want to keep the chain shotgun, the EMPs, and all that. Get rid of the poor quality kids wear. Actually, we got complex clothing now. Get rid of all the tribal wear. Go ahead and take the hallucinogenic mushrooms from me for right now. You don't really have anything I want, though. So now let's go over here to our crafting spot, though. And you serve no purpose, so you're just gone. Because once we build the tailoring bench, I'm just going to want to use those clothes and not the tribal stuff anymore. That said, I am going to need to murder absolutely everything on this map to get the leather I need to be able to, build that stuff, because I can't grow cotton or devil strand on this map unless we put up a thing. Right, if we get the geothermal online, I think you produce, 3,600 power. We can probably put a grow light up here. And then we can go ahead and get, like, cotton and devil strand or whatever going. Probably cotton, mostly. The devil strand's better, it just grows very slowly. Okay, so we're about to arrive at our destination to get the healing mech serum. Any day now. And you arrived exhausted. So, there might be an unknown threat. And if we're looking at this, we've got guns everywhere. You have an assault rifle. And a bunch of stuff like that. So I think what's going to need to happen realistically, if we're already exhausted, I'm unfortunately going to need to have them go sleep. Okay, what angle do I have that I can maybe make a move on this? Alright. So it's looking like my best angle is to go wide around here, come up here, and I might be able to get a shot at that battery, destroy that. Ooh, this is actually going to be a really nasty one. I wish I brought a sniper rifle with me. Could you all, like, not scatter too far? Let's go here, zone area 1. Do that. Schedule area 1. I didn't even think about that. I could just wait it. They're just draining power. Never mind. I was thinking, like, how am I going to make a move on this thing? Right, literally it is a mushroom biome. The solar panels don't make power here. So these turrets, they're going to just drain this battery, and then they're all going to shut off, and I could just walk in. Kill Chris there, walk in, poke the door to get the healing mech serum, and caravan out. Because the sitting here thinking is like, man, we have to go over here, like, try and, you know, because I could snip the wire there to take this off the power grid. But, like, this will still have power from the rest of the grid. So I was, like, looking at this going, man, it's going to be tricky to cut the power on all this. It's waiting for you. Yeah, that one doesn't seem to be really losing power very fast. Same with this one. But that one's going to drop out of power soon. And we'll see which guns turn off. That point we'll probably make our move on Chris. I'm a little concerned because Chris here is rocking some really good armor. What is your combat skill? Well, luckily your combat skill is garbage. Yeah, those two in the back aren't draining very fast. This one's about to drop. Okay, so that all just went offline. So he still has decent coverage from over here. But that's fine. One nice thing is I get to steal a bunch of their guns. Okay, so when we wake up in the morning, Chris dies. Now, downside is it's going to be a no cover to no cover realistically. Okay, that just lost power there. Okay, you all good? Go eat your breakfast. Did you not have more food than that? That'll have to do. Okay. So, draft them all. So what we'd like to do is if I can bait him over here. We can tag him a couple times, get him to run up here, tag him with the flamethrower to send him running. Oh, you went to sleep. You know you suck, right? Okay, so all those are powered off. You two still have power over here. Alright. So the risk is if I run up on Chris too close, I can get in trouble. I can just walk in there and steal it, maybe. Okay, we got Grave Flesh, again in a very commonly walked area. So we'll check that out again. Okay, so the question here now is, I can kill Chris really fast. There's a little bit of risk of Chris actually getting some proper damage in. But if I can kill Chris really, really quickly here, we can just walk away from this, and then as the batteries run out, I'll be allowed to caravan away and just take everything that's here for myself. The downside is that's waiting on food, and we are running out of it. I do think I want to murder Chris, though. I do think Chris's death would bring me joy. So hold your fire for just a minute. Now the question is, because we don't want to pop out because those two are live. My thought here is open fire with everything, tag him with the burner to cause him to panic, and hopefully we can just finish the job before any of the rest goes haywire. Hope Randy's been a little less random than usual. Well, I am playing Cassandra, but yeah. Alright, so Chris, I'm sorry, buddy. And nicely done. Okay, so with what this we have here, we can go zone. This is now your safe area. Delete this one. I think that we can pick that up. And that's all tainted, so you're not worried about that. Analysis progress. Lysanu has finished analyzing the Greyflesh sample. The sample carried the biosignature Chorus W9. Lysanu made progress in learning the identity of the biosignature in living subjects, but needs more samples to complete the work. Until then, your surgical inspections will not detect a Chorus W9. And then, thank you, Trico, for gifting a tier 1 sub to Penny. I really do appreciate that. And Penny Meow, you can enjoy yourself some nice advertisement-free viewing as well as access theme mode. Let's see, there were times you played Cassandra and she felt a little bit more random. Yeah, she can be. Definitely when it comes to the storytellers, I find Randy's like obviously random. That's like his whole shtick. But I definitely feel like in a lot of ways, when we're looking at it, might just destroy that battery. Like in a lot of ways, Randy's easier a lot of times. He can be rough. We can let that battery drain, and I think we poke over here and we just shoot that battery so you're not staying here too long. Actually, I should be able to just step over here, shoot the battery, all right. And then you have 5 seconds, or 5 whatever, and then we should be safe. And what I'm going to need to do is for the return trip, we're going to need to pull up a bunch of mushrooms. Alright, so for the return trip, we're going to go schedule, unrestricted. I need to start harvesting a bunch of random mushrooms. Do you even have that? For right now, just go grab mushrooms. Caravan detected, so we have 2.5 days. That's fine. We'll be long since out of here by then. Claim, uninstall. Deconstruct. Probably deconstruct the batteries. I'm not going to end up using those. Yes, I'm just deconstructing a bunch of these and pulling up a bunch of stuff. Because we do that really fast, we can get a bunch of components, I'm not going to be able to carry all these. And we got a mech healing serum out of this. So that's added bonus as well. And then we can just caravan away, bring all our ill-gotten goods out of here. And I believe that's the last one. Okay, so that's good. Let's reform the caravan. Send it home. Accept. Bring the fungus with us. Okay, so the mech healing serum components are the first priority. And just bring all of the guns you can. We can't bring them all. They're too heavy. But we took what we can, and we're getting out of here. So we're still dealing with the gray flesh here. We're pretty sure Bueller's in the clear. Unfortunately, the first instance was here, and the second one's there. Those are both anything there. The only thing we do know is that these three are fully and solidly in the clear. So if any of them were cooks, then we can have a cook. Because while the gray flesh showed up, it showed up on a super common route that everyone walks by. So we don't have to worry about, like, that didn't go undetected until they were long gone or anything like that. And what is your problem? You are ravenously hungry. Why are you not eating? There's a giant mountain of mushrooms, and you love mushrooms. Sorry, that snuck out. Just eat the mushrooms. Ate fungus. Yeah. We already got the was in prison canceled. The ratty apparel and the 8 raw food, that's just going to be something you're dealing with right now. Oh, and let's get the last 2 tiles of wall built. Growth moment on Jaywalker. Aging on up. So, we can give you the melee, which we want to do because you have a predisposition because of your xenotype to being solid in fighting. Out of these, you're going to take Masochist, because that's all terrible. Alright, so we get a second passion. Social is just broadly good for anyone. I really would like the other 2, but getting social is always a plus. So let's go ahead and get that. Alright, so we're still not going to have you do any of that right now. But you can now deal with that. We'll go ahead and give you that. But congratulations on surviving to be 7 years old. This is art, all the dumpies. Yep. What's Jaywalker's xenotype? It is a hybrid, because they had different parents. So they've got fast wound healing, strong melee, great mining, with the only negative being slow runner, which is bad because it means they get hungry super duper fast. But it isn't a xenotype we chose. Their parents are different xenotypes, so it randomly rolls between the 2 groups on like what they get. Okay, we can go ahead and turn that on, so we can actually build that. So we're just making do. Goju's production. That's okay. We just won't get the grav ship anytime soon. It's fine. I understand. I don't like it, but I understand. Yep, so once I get that built, we can turn on all the benches and not have to worry. Oh, we got this done. So let's go here. Fills, add, make pants, do until you have one that's at least at 80% and of normal quality. Shirts, 80%, normal quality. We're gonna have kids here for a long time, so kids pants, 80%, normal quality. Kids shirt, 80%, normal quality. Alright, so from there we'll get our hats. Let's go ahead and I'll do the bowler hat. I like the bowler hat. 80%. Normal quality. And then we would need our jackets, so we will do a cape. Cape is not the best by any stretch of the imagination. I just like it. So we're gonna wear some heckin' capes. And we will put the parka on there for the kiddos. And last but not least, where's the face masks? Okay. So that's gonna be a whole thing. Realistically, like I said, once we build that, I'm gonna put a grow light over here. Yeah, I'll put a grow light up here. And get all that stuff going. Hey, Azrael, how's it going? Oh, also, can we get a shout out for Penny Meowie, for Treacle, and for Azrael? Food Binge is fine. Absolutely all fantastic creators. So Azrael plays a lot of things, including Fortnite Horizon 6, which is just what they do. But they play a simulation games. They've just been like very into you know, Forza for a bit here. We got Treacle. Oh, you did one for Penny? Gotcha. I'll make sure to shout out properly. I was zoned into things. But we got Treacle's another fantastic content creator. Already does, like, I think we already shouted you out, but it's fine if we do it a second time. But does a lot of similar games, has done RimWorld, has done a lot of good stuff like this. A lot of similar games to this channel, so definitely enjoy that. Penny Meowie is also fantastic and has done a lot of similar games to what we do on the channel. And streams immediately after I wrap up most nights. So it's perfect for, like, if you're like, man, Rual just wrapped up. What am I gonna do? Then you can pop right over to Penny Meowie. Absolutely fantastic. Nice chatty start and all that good stuff, but has done like RimWorld and Project Zombie and a whole bunch of stuff like that. So definitely someone else to check out as well. Lots of fantastic people. Alright, you all should be getting back soon. Yeah, you're almost here. Right. So we're gonna go ahead and get this done. And then we do our grow light up here. And I think for the grow light, I'm gonna split it where we're going to have a good chunk of it will be cotton, some of it'll be devil strand, some of it'll be herbal medicine, and then the last little teeny tiny bit will be dye. Is I think the breakup we're gonna do under the grow light. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with being a Forza streamer exclusively and only. Oh, that is something that's wrong, though. This is something we can't have. We have a cobra inside the perimeter that will hunt the children. So we absolutely need it to die right now. And it is dead. And there was much rejoicing. That genuinely startled me. Well, Luxray is absolutely going to be getting hypnotized. Can I just explode you? Revenant does not have flesh. Okay, that's all we got so far as stunning and all that. I wasted that last stun a little bit. Alright. Get wrecked, Revenant Nerd. Opened up, ambushed someone, and still didn't even get out of there because we just had so many stuns that we could just keep stunning it again and again. Where did your weapon go, by the way? Oh, you just picked it back up. Okay, so then what we can do here is the Revenant gives out more than the Noctil. So I hate to break it to you. Plus the Noctil is more dangerous. So Jaywalker, have you ever wanted to just unceremoniously... Never mind, you can't do wardening. Wardening... So finish doing that, then execute. Alright. So that just means when the Revenant breaks out the next time, it'll be able to see the path longer. You did that for the first time. You got away. It got away after the first attack, but hit a caravan trader. Yeah, no, it's definitely one of those things when you get to like mid to late game. Like this time, I was just able to chain stun it, but most of the time, what ends up happening, you end up having a bunch of chain shotguns and that kind of stuff, and you just absolutely decimate the poor thing. It comes around the corner and you just hear the chain shotguns just sounding off. You're like, yep. Goodbye. Or you just have a ton of assault rifles or whatever it is. Alright, the Revenant has reformed. So now that gives us 4. Whereas I believe the Noctil was only 3. So even more bioferrite. Okay, and the caravan just got home with its small arsenal of guns and a healing mech serum to boot. Which is a little risk just leaving it there. And it tanked a hunter drone? Oh man, having a Revenant hit you while a hunter drone was active, that's rough. Okay, so of the away team, so we had Nivik. Alright, so unfortunately, the 3 people we sent away, none of them can cook worth anything. So we're still just waiting on Greyflesh. Alright, so let's go up here. So furniture, sun lamp. We're gonna build the sun lamp, and then we can start growing stuff underneath it. Just trying to get stuff planted, because I don't know exactly how much this is going to cover. We'll have to see what can and can't grow here. A feral child wanders in. You are a 6-year-old with no traits, baseliner. I'm honestly just going to leave it. We already have more people than I want for dealing with the grav ship for the first time. So while that definitely would be a pawn I would normally take because it's kind of a clean slate. Now granted, at 6, I'm going to have no time to work on getting stuff sorted out for the, stuff there. So what is the light level here, though? I don't actually know how to see. Okay, so all the stuff outside the circle won't grow. So this stuff out on the periphery is going to die from not enough light. But all the stuff in here should grow. And meanwhile, they should be like, ah, I hate the blinding light. It's terrible. It's awful. Existence is pain. Okay. Can toggle these lights back on now. Toggle this back on, toggle that back on. Because we should have enough power to handle all of it. Okay, and you'll break out roughly once a year. Which is fine. Because especially if each time it breaks out, I manage to get one more flesh sample, eventually it'll break out and we can just chase it around and kill it really easy. Okay, and how goes all the animal hunting to try and get a bunch of clothes made? Well, I guess I don't need the hats, do I? We're using helmets already. That's fine. Heat wave. Well, we already have air conditioners in here. Yeah, so still 420 watts extra. Nothing to worry about there. Okay. So I have to figure out who our contestant for the Gray Flesh is. Because we kind of knocked out Bueller as the likely candidate. Well, not knocked out. We have a pretty strong suspicion they're fine. Yeah, and they'll go in there for the break room. They'll cool off, so I don't need to fuss with it. You're still cutting brick. You actually will probably run out of... Yeah, you've hit the point where you don't need to cut brick anymore. Hmm. Yeah, because not really a reason to have you cut more brick. Yep, tell them to stop hauling the block. Could they be sitting on it? Not really. like, if they show up, there's a lot of things that, like, they'll only keep it so long before it goes. What happens on the back end, is it does have a thing where, like, it'll say, okay, it's time for metal horror, and it'll go back and be like, here's why you got it. But it makes up that reason. Now, granted, that's not always the case. Like, if you have, you know, you do the thing, you get, like, Void Provocation, the creepy joiner walks on, the creepy joiner's already infected. Like, that was the whole thing, is it created a reason for a metal horror to show up. But, like, the thing where it's like, you got hit, and you got infected, that's a retcon kind of thing. They just decide, because it'll go through a whole thing where it comes up. It's the same where, like, when you make art in the game, it kind of just references something in the past, but that wasn't, like, a predetermined thing that art would have it or whatever. It is just a thing referencing to past events and making it as an excuse. We can have a thing for prosthetics. A toxic spewer machine. No, that's fine. There's nothing here I want that much. And I don't want to caravan out, because we're still dealing with the metal horror gray flesh. Like, unfortunately, both instances, one was here and one was there, and that's not enough to narrow anything. Everybody walks past this area. So really, really hoping we get one of the ones where, like, the gray flesh lands over here. Or it's in one of the bedrooms. Because if it's in one of the bedrooms, it narrows down to people cleaning and that. Which, granted, everyone has cleaning as a possible assignment. We can hopefully narrow that down a little bit. At a worst case, we can narrow it to people who it wouldn't be, which would be Bueller, assuming it's not their bedroom. Because it would have no reason to go in the room ever. And then we could have Bueller just go through and do the surgery one by one, start narrowing down who is the possibilities. Why did we get fire there? Also zone. Please put out the fire. Why did we get fire there? There's no wires there. You don't have to cover the sunlight. Maybe just a lightning bolt and I just missed it? Oh, what it could have been is there might have been a, one of the mushrooms right here that gives you chem fuel, and because it's getting blasted by light, that it ended up dying. And when it died, it exploded. You just realized you got partner on Twitch less than a year? What the heck? Yup. It was the whole thing. But it's also, if we can get a shout out for Ultrasaurus, another fantastic content creator, someone I highly recommend. Yeah, no, it was definitely, like, blew up the channel in a big way. I fully expected to get rejected when I applied. That was a risky one. Just because it bends so fast. But check out Ultrasaurus, been playing some Oxygen Not Included, checking out the new Aquatic DLC and doing all that stuff. But yeah, no, it's got a pretty early progress on it that was really good. Just, you know, a lot of people struggle to get their first couple of viewers, and I just had a bunch of people, because I had started streaming to you know, so people I was playing GTRP with could see my perspective. So I already had people. You all need to back. Okay. So, you know, to see this perspective, so I kind of jumped instantly up to like 7-ish people. No, it's probably closer to 5 people, but either way. But you know, I'd have like that coming in every night. And just by happenstance with the server, it wasn't up all days of the week kind of thing. It was only up like half the time. So I ended up just tuning, like playing RimWorld and Project Zomboid and all that. You're actually not... never mind. But I ended up just, you know, getting a bunch of other people to show up. And then it was... I got kind of positioned in Project Zomboid, where I got to be really known there thanks to Trustin rating me. Like, it was just one of those things like right audience, right time, right game. And just like one of my highest retention raids that happened. So I got known into that category. And it was like right then they announced multiplayer for Build 41. So like where the category had been pretty dead at the time, I was like in just the perfect place. So the channel just exploded. It's the kind of thing you cannot recreate. Okay, so Goju's production, hydroponics. Also cool, but not what I needed. Yeah, no, it's definitely, like I said, when I applied for partner, is like, man, they're absolutely gonna turn me down because, like, how fast the channel grew. But they didn't. Why are you down? What's going on here? Ah. Oh, I see, it's the classic. You got food poisoning, and that upset you, so you got high. I understand. A tale as old a time in RimWorld. Got food poisoning, upset, got high. Delicious twisted meat. Yeah, right now they're mostly eating raw fungus. And the reason they're doing that is we have the Gray Flesh event going on, the Metal Horror, and I have no idea who is the infected one. Bueller here, we did interrogate a bunch of times, so in a pinch that I do need to do medical, Bueller can do it. But, we're avoiding cooking to avoid contaminating and anything, and Bueller does not know how to cook. Luckily, we like raw mushrooms, so our people are just dealing with the occasional extra food poisoning while we wait out the Gray Flesh. At which point, then we go through and start, you know, going for one person after the other and see if we can't identify who's got it. But I need one more Gray Flesh sample before we can do surgery to detect it. So we just gotta wait. There's also the possibility that, if it doesn't successfully spread long enough, I believe it has a chance of just popping out. Disease Plague. On Luxray... Okay. And this is why we did our test beforehand, so you... go attend to this person. Let's go ahead. Let's not fuss around. We're going right for the good meds. I said right for the good meds. You can preach health in them. So we hit Luxray with a preach health as well as Glitter World. Probably just gonna knock it out one and done. Yeah, it's fine. Could you... Oh, they won't... Okay. The doctor won't give food because they're not meals. That's fine. Okay, we're getting all the stuff for making clothing and all that. We're actually surprisingly having enough leather to keep that all going. Okay, and everyone's going out and hunting, getting us more leather. That's weird. Healer, do you mind doing your job? Okay, new Harbinger tree is sprouted. Yeah, we just leave that alone for the time being. Alright, now one thing that'd be nice is if we can get Grey Flesh in a predictable place. That's what I want. Down here would also be good. If we get Grey Flesh down here now, that would mean it's a researcher. Which would also narrow down who it could be. Or also, if we see Grey Flesh over here now, that would also make it far more likely to be a Stero. Because there are researchers sitting out in here. Please go eat the mushrooms. Please go eat the mushrooms. Apparently we're just not going to treat people. Okay, drop the medicine back down for both of you, because I'm just not, like, we have plenty of Glitter World. I'm not going to take my chances. I'd rather waste Glitter World and just secure that heal versus having someone die because I'm being frugal. As far as I'm concerned, losing that Glitter World is one tantrum away. Or one raid away, or whatever. Okay, so that's going to be enough that you'll get to 100%. We don't need to do another. Okay, cool. So we wasted like 5 Glitter World, but that's fine. I'd rather use it and secure the save than, you know, regret, like, see my heap of Glitter World sitting there as someone dies of plague or whatever. Hey, Annabelle, thank you so much for the raid. I hope you had yourself a good stream and all that good stuff. Welcome in, Raiders. Okay, we got all that going on. But, what were you playing? How did it go? All that good stuff. If you got a raid and run, like, don't let me hold you, but obviously, you know you are welcome to hang out here and all that good stuff. Playing some Fallout 76. Nice. I hope you had a good time with Fallout. I need to go back and play more Fallout 76. I know I played when it first dropped, and people had, like, very negative reviews about it, but I had a good time. I still stand by maybe it shouldn't have been a Fallout game, but I had a good time with it nonetheless. And I know it's gone way better, and I keep being like, I need to circle back and revisit it. But, you know, there's a bajillion games, and that's hard to make happen. But I hope you had a good time and all that good stuff. And again, welcome in. A really good route for Fallout 76, you can find it over there. Okay, so we had the kid randomly came into our colony, started eating our stuff, and then got food poisoning. We call that karma. Was good. Minecraft at the moment, 10 in the morning, Fallout in the afternoon. Gotcha. Gotcha. So you start with some Minecraft and, you know, you switch off to Fallout. That seems fun. Alright, I really need this Grey Flesh to show up already. Till it does, we're just kind of on standstill. Oh, ATM equals all the mods 10? Gotcha. I'm not super familiar. Like, I played Minecraft a ton in the past. And we did play some recently. But like I said, I'm less familiar with. Alright. You want to draw the infestations, and it'll be 10 hives will be brought to me. That's 56 goodwill. I am willing to take that. What is Grave Flesh? It's an anomaly encounter of the Metal Horror. It's kind of a whodunit, that basically one of your people will get infected with Grave Flesh, and if they cook meals, they will infect others with it, or if they do surgery on other people, they will infect others with it. So it's kind of trying to suss out which one of your people has it, and then if you can figure it out, you can, you know, kind of force the Metal Horror to pop out and then fight it. It doesn't guarantee, like, kill the person. It will knock them down and hurt them pretty badly. Alright. So I got a bunch of bugs are gonna pop out of there. Gotcha, Annabelle. You have a good one. Alright, let's go ahead and restrict you to safe for right now. Let's see what we're gonna have pop out here. It's actually pretty bad. Right. So, Jaywalker, I'm gonna have you have a little switch in equipment. We're just gonna decide here that you have food poisoning. You really, really don't like the bugs. Alright, I really need you to get over that harpsichord. I really need to get over that food poisoning long enough to get up here. Then what we will do from there is we will... Oh, never mind. Well, there goes that strategy. Because the plan had been to get up here, pop the door here, and unleash the flamethrower in here while everyone else just holds the door, and let the fire do the work. Unfortunately, that food poisoning was just a little too long, because that takes us from a very easy and relatively safe encounter to a very dangerous encounter. Because they do have only one melee pawn, and that is a lot of damage they've got that they're bringing to bear. Let's give them just a minute on that food poisoning. And I'm going to have to try and draw them out, because these will produce more and more bugs and more hives, and it'll just escalate until everybody dies. Okay, so you've got the immunity on that. You got your food poisoning sorted. Okay, team. We might get lucky and still salvage this. Because if I can dispatch this one out here without aggroing everything, then I can get Bueller in position on the door, and same plan. Bueller stands here, just flamethrowers inside there, scattering the bugs all over the place while people just, you know, shooting gallery it up. The worst case is if they all absolutely scatter. So kids, relatively secured in the middle. Alright, that's kind of what we were hoping not to happen. Okay. You stop firing. Alright. Go home, children. You go home as well. And Bueller go home as well. And the rest of you, it's going to be time to clean up. Alright. Just making sure nobody's getting back up. Okay, and with that, we just walk on in here, make sure there's no bugs running around. That's fine. Okay. Pods arrive, a bunch of plasteel. And we got 50-something standing out of it, so that's good news. Major break risk on you because you're hungry, you're sleepy, and you're mildly plagued. Did you actually treat this person? You did not. 10 out of 10 with Doctor again. Jaywalker needs to go in here and grab your bolt action back. Oh, that's not what you want. Go, 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 go. Jaywalker's in trouble. Okay, rescue you. Haul that back. Gray flesh. Again in a spot that is not going to give me any meaningful information. Nivek is near there, but that doesn't mean anything. We just had everyone cross in there to get into the base. Analysis complete. While analyzing the gray flesh sample, Lysanu finally isolated the biosignature Chorus W9. The signature emerges from the fusing of human tissue to metallic bioferrite filaments, which spider throughout the flesh and take control of the nervous system. You can now use surgical inspection operation to detect Quasaro W9. Alright. So step 1, get everyone tended back up. And then we begin the rotation of surgeries. So who do we suspect is carrying the metal horror? That's the big question. You have too many people to Twitch poll, right? Yeah, I've got way too many. I can do a poll for 5. The first time you beat Anomaly was so stressful. Oh, beat this Anomaly? Yeah, no, it's actually not super bad if you're just very, very careful about your approach. But yeah, no, it's definitely one of those ones where you have to, like, deliberately put yourself in a bad way of, like, not cooking, you know, limiting your doctoring and all that kind of stuff. I think that's where we're going to priority is we're going to start with our cooks. So, first contestant is going to be Flaw. Do we think this is our metal horror? Let's see. Yeah, the YouTube side of things are painful. Rual has to stop stream on YouTube and then start a new one when changing games. You need to revisit multi-streaming, but it's so intimidating to you. Yeah. It's not that bad. It's just very annoying. I really do wish when we switched categories, it just kind of moved it over. Also, please don't leave the incinerator out there. I mean, I realize you have no space in here, which is kind of the problem. And you're doing a good job of staying on top of restocking all the mushrooms. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and operations add... where are you at? Where? Surgical inspection. Get in there. Trying to see what we can get out of here. Alright, surgery is beginning. That's not... Go back to sleep. Gather around, everyone. And Jaywalker, you go grab your bolt action. You need to get a little closer now. You're just gonna friendly fire Bueller in the back. So I got everyone here so that if the metal horror pops out, we unleash all hell on it. Can you not haul yet? You can haul. There you go. Alright, I don't think this is our candidate, but this would give me the availability of cooking. Surgical inspection results. Bueller said she found no anomalies. However, the doctor may lie for their own self-interest. We caused a brain scar during the surgery. We halfway destroyed their brain during the surgery. That's, it's pretty bad. Well, we don't have a natural healing. I do have a mech healing serum. So when it runs out... if necessary... they're blind. They have the explode things in meaty chunks ability. What a great time to peek by, just as you lobotomized a pawn. Yeah, trying to detect the metal horror. That's, that sucks. What difficulty on? Only strive to survive. I tend not to crank it up that much. Alright, we'll have to wait to see how bad that is. Starvation on Jaywalker. Please feed the starving child. Okay. Please feed the starving child. Well, starving child is going to feed themselves. Oh yeah, no, that's I love unnatural healing. We'll do like we'll go through a lot to get it. All right, so we got a bunch of like scrap bits of leather and all that. I'll see you out there. We got a giant mountain of drugs. So that's pretty cool. Bunch of worn out stuff, some worn out clothing. And you don't have anything I really want. Drop down the drugs to be a bit less. Okay, so you're at 42. What we're gonna do is gift. Have more drugs. If you ever considered really, really getting into mushrooms, like really getting into mushrooms. Right, we'll take the scrap bits of clothes there. Just trying to get the one last little point here. There we go. And allied. All it cost us was a giant mountain of mushrooms and some drugs. Some fungus-based drugs. Of which we will collect more of. Yeah, we have to see how bad this consciousness is. I'm worried it's going to be stuck at 50%. Alright. Okay, everyone's fully healed, so that brings up our next contestant. We got our wonderful moral guide. Let's actually, you know what? Let's do Astero. Let's do Astero next. Surgical inspection. Get over here. Alright. Everyone but Astero. Gather around. Do a little shuffle. You over here. You up there. You over here. You're there. Just trying to wedge the kids in the corner there. That way if, you know, if we're correct on who it is, that they don't immediately get gored by the metal horror. I know you're hungry, Jaywalker, because you have a hunger rate of 200%. You're just gonna need to chill until we get the all clear. Surgical inspection results are fine. No new horrible scars. You may go forth and snack. Alright, so who do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And I guess Bueller should still be on the list as a consideration. Oh, I mean, they're missing body parts, but they were already missing body parts. They showed up that way, and we haven't been able to correct that issue. Alright, so with that, we're going to go ahead and queue up the next one. So that'll be our moral guide. Why are you so desperately trying to put the children as close to danger as possible? Oh, you're still working your way here under your anesthetic. Okay, and once again, not seeing it. Are you going to bed? Don't go to bed while someone's bleeding. All right, so you're now back in business on there, and you're now back in business on here. Probably keep Astero off the doctoring for a minute. Okay. We're just working our way through everyone. One by one, checking. Nice, Darth. Tangible progress is good and tangible. Okay, so next contestant I think is going to be Scrap Code. Well, no, Scrap Code should be in the clear. So Scrap Code, okay. Who did we take away with us? It was Scrap Code, Nivek, and Mohan Rai were on the away mission, I believe. So they should not be possible as candidates. So Scrap Code, Mohan Rai, Nivek. We've already checked you two and you. So that leaves Angry or one of the children. I've never had one of the children be the person, which makes me real nervous if we are getting down to this view, because Bueller was our original suspect and we interrogated them a whole bunch, and they're doing all of our surgeries. Which does bring up a lot of concern. Because at this point, if it's Bueller, we are effed. I believe you hit half the colony infected at auto triggers, so at least you're not there yet. Yep. Alright. Jaywalker or Luxray? Both of you were born into the colony, and neither of you have been hit by anything. Unless it is one of the other ones here. And I'm basically giving just enough time for, like, the surgical cut to heal off one person to get the other one. Yeah, because they were gone a while. So I think we go for the kids next. Which feels weird to say that. Because, again, Nevik, Mohan Rai, and Scrapcode traveled. And they were gone for a good day plus before someone found the gray flesh. On a very, very common path. I'm a little worried, though, if Metal Horror and a child, that it might just straight up kill them when it bursts out, but there's no avoiding that if they're infected. Like, whether we wait or we do the surgery, the result would be the same. You have a terrible feeling it's Luxray? I mean, it could be. Harpsichord, Fire Foam's next. Just not gonna give me the grab ship. Are you not going to go to bed? It specifically can't kill them? Gotcha. I was pretty sure that was the whole thing. I've just never had a kid get a Metal Horror the entire time I played. Because most Metal Horrors, only the person who shows up with the infection ever gets it in my playthroughs. It's very rare it has an opportunity to spread to anyone. Alright, get the operation. And once again, it's put the child as close to the action as possible. And Barrow wasn't here the whole time it's been here, just to be clear. Well, we're just going on one to the other. Don't steal my food. Was Barrow here the whole time? Hey, Barrow? Buddy? I don't want to hurt you, but I can't surgically inspect you. And I'm suddenly highly suspicious of you. Sorry. Nope, they were innocent. Okay, that means one of the people that we suspected to be cleared is actually not. So we're just gonna go down the line. That was unfortunate, yeah. So paranoid that you murdered the innocent. Is the kid innocent? I distinctly saw that kid shoplift food. clearly the only answer was outright murder, from what I've heard. I don't actually agree with that at all. To be clear, that was a... Oh, okay. I did not realize... Okay, I understand now. So, structure... Let's give them a moment to get that roof on there so it doesn't zap. Okay, that's good enough. Alright, next contestant is Scrap Code. Oh, we're out of herbal medicine. Well, that's kind of wasteful, but gotta go ahead and use it. Okay. Next contestant. Mohan Rai. That leaves only Nivik as the only person we haven't supposedly vetted. I didn't, because it's usually... Yeah, because it would be one of those ones, if we saw it, it bursts out immediately once detected. Pit gate opening. Game, can you F off for a second? We're busy with something more important. As I've actually got a lot of people under anesthetic right now. Alright, well, all of you can at least walk. Get into position. Flesh Beast Emergence. Please stop emerging. Please stop emerging. So we can pop in here hoping that they path back after me. They don't care, they're just going for it. That's what I was afraid of. So I'm not going to be able to get into position in time to prevent them from rushing. We're just going to get Bueller, get there. The rest of you, pile in here as much as you can. Kids actually stand back. The rest of you, get into position here. And the kids can be back here a little farther. This is not how I should have done this. Psychic explode that one. Fire across that group. Stun that one. On that target. Okay. All of you, get out of here. Anyone seriously hurt? Because that was a cluster. A couple decent injuries there. Nothing super serious. Gray flesh. Metal horror emerging. Bueller was implanted by a finger spike, and then the other three were implanted by Bueller during surgery. Get everyone in position as fast as you can. Jaywalker was killed. We're just in a mess right now. Ah, you made me miss it. Oh no, you got the hit. Yep. Yep. That's all she wrote. Man in black. Sorry, we don't man in black in this. I don't do man in black. Does anyone... You managed to get up despite having the metal horror burst out of you. Can you get inside there before they close in on you? Get in, get in, get in. Close the door, close the door. Alright, start patching people up. Namely yourself. Why can I not? Oh, your right arm is too injured. You can't patch yourself up. Well, it doesn't matter anyways, because Angry Sugar crawling in has doomed Estero as well. That's the first time I've ever lost a colony to the Metal Horrors. Nah, so I had believed I had vetted Bueller by having them interrogated for a good several days by people with good social, but apparently that wasn't enough. Now there's the smallest chance one of these ones manages to get up and we start patching people up. We'll definitely take heavy losses. And it's just a matter of if they get up before it's too late. So you're gonna die, you're gonna die, you're gonna die, you're gonna die, you're going to die. Does anyone have a chance? Nah, that's done. Nope. That is the end of that run. So that'll be the first time I've lost to the Metal Horrors. And like I said, the vast majority of the time, they never get away from one. I think the most I've had other than this was 2, because they were a couple. But I thought I had vetted Bueller, because that's the strategy I normally use, and I just didn't vet him well enough. Yeah, it wouldn't have been a problem. Like, honestly, I think we could have taken the 4 if it wasn't for the fact that we just got hit with the pit gate, and I misplayed the pit gate fight. If I hadn't misplayed the pit gate fight, we'd probably have only taken a hit or 2, probably on Bueller in the first place. You've been taken up pretty often by them? Yeah, so normally what I'll do is I'll isolate someone who I don't think has a pretty high chance of being the person who's it. In this case, I went for someone who I did have a high chance of thinking they were going to be it. But it was because one of those things that, like, the first Grey Flesh is, like, right along this lake where everyone walked by. Even though I was like, yeah, Bueller stands there when they fish, so it probably could be them. But yeah, so it is one of those things. But yeah, so with all that said, I'm not unhappy with that. Obviously we didn't get the grav tech, like the RNG on the random research kept us from ever getting off the ground of the grav ship. We had gotten down to just a couple of research till we were guaranteed the grav ship because of nothing else available. But yeah, no, died to a Metal Horror. That's a first for me and all that stuff. So the plan for tomorrow is we're not going to be doing RimWorld. Oh, and actually, I take that back. We are doing RimWorld today. The next day, which is the 25th, we're doing Planet Coaster 2 for the new DLC. So what I'll probably do tomorrow is I might start a brand new run. We might do something else. I haven't quite decided yet, because, stream's just basically just about to be done. But, yeah, so on the 25th, we're going to be doing Planet Coaster 2's new DLC, which adds parades, which should be very interesting. So we might start a new run on the stream, like the next stream. And actually for the Thursday stream, it might end up being like the Friday one. Like Thursdays and Fridays are technically my days off. I just tend to stream them anyway. But the next stream, 25th or after, we'll be doing Planet Coaster 2. And I had kind of planned on doing more RimWorld for the foreseeable future for like next week or so. That said, I always reserve the right to change my mind as games drop and all that good stuff. That said, we are at a really good time for me to wrap up, because normally this is around the time I wrap up. So, unfortunately, I misplayed that Metal Horror. Ultimately, if we're going into the things I did wrong, the first thing I did wrong is I should have kept interrogating Bueller longer. I did kind of rush it because I wanted to get things done, and I got punished for it. The other thing I could have also done is gone after the other well, no, because the other doctor was the one that had the social. Nah, it's probably correct to pull Bueller in. I just needed to interrogate them more to have more opportunities to supposedly, like, get the infection discovered. And then just not horribly misplaying the entire like flesh beast thing, which partly I misplayed that in. I was rushing the surgeries on the metal horror, which I could have just taken my time and only had one person messed with at a time. But because I was rushing it, I had a lot of people under anesthetic when the flesh beast showed up, which made my people move a lot slower. So it did kind of push me into a situation where I just misplayed the entire fight. The other thing I should have done is once I realized they're coming around the corner, instead of like trying to just meet them at the kill box, I should have just stayed at the door, moved my range to the other side, shot at them, and then ducked back. I was being impatient about stuff, is ultimately what it was. Just wasn't taking the time I should have, and I got punished, and the colony died for it. That happens. That's RimWorld. So with that said, what's going to end up happening, if you are watching on the YouTube side, the stream is going to come to an end because I don't have a host ready over there, so don't forget to like and subscribe, but the stream ending for you over there, but thank you so much for tuning in. And for those over here on Twitch, if you have enjoyed tonight's content and you're not already following the channel, don't forget to drop that follow. That way you can find your way back here in